Hello, lovely people, and very happy International Mental Health Day. I'm here to promote healthier and happier heads and hearts, and what I'm really talking about is a good mental health. A mental health with an approach in which both the head and the heart, the mind and the soul come together and we understand them as a unity in which one doesn't work without the other. If I tell you a little bit about me first, and then I go on to what this is about, what sort of project is this and how it's going to happen, okay? So my name is Luisa Sanz. My long name is Luisa Maria Sanz Villanueva. I'm originally from Spain. I was born in Madrid. In Spain we have two surnames, the father's and the mother's. So Sanz is my dad's, Villanueva is my mum's. And when I was 16, I went to the US. I lived there for 2 years. I went to high school and I learned English. Came back to Madrid, determined to go into medical school and become a psychiatrist, which I did. But I was also very determined to come to the UK and do my specialty and then work in England, which also I did. So I became a consultant child and adolescent psychiatrist in 2005, and I started work in the northwest of England, and in 2013 I got a job as the clinical director for mental health services for young people, CAMS, child and adolescent mental health services. And as the clinical director, my role was to develop services so young people would have more access to mental health services and there would be more resources within those. Currently, I'm on a career break from that job. I still work and have a private practice where I go to residential schools for children with learning difficulties, neurodevelopmental disorders, mental health problems, and I provide with clinics and consultations. I've been doing that for over 10 years now. I continue to do so. In addition to that, I am a mother of 3 young people. They are nearly 19, 16 and 13, and they keep me up to date with everything that happens and all the young people's issues and challenges and so on, which is very helpful as a child psychiatrist. And I have 2 elderly parents that live in Madrid. My dad has got dementia, my mum looks after him. I'm the 6th of 8 brothers and sisters, and 6 girls and 2 boys, and both of my brothers, who are the 1st and the 5th in the family, have got schizophrenia. So as you can imagine, I was brought up with mental health problems at home. My eldest brother was 16 when he first started with signs of mental illness, and I was only 8. So I know about mental illness, not just as a child and adolescent psychiatrist that I've been working for the last 20 odd years, but also as a family member, because I continue to some degree be involved with my brother's illness, even though they're in Spain and I'm in England. So I'm going to tell you, hopefully only just for the next 5 minutes, a little bit about this project, what I want it to be, why is it happening now, who is it for, and what are the aims. This is a journey that we all start today, and what a beautiful day to start a mental health project. And it's a journey in which we're going to get to understand that the body, the mind and the soul work together, and you can't neglect one or the other, because then the whole unity fails. We're going to do so, come to that understanding from an approach of love, respect and acceptance. And I think acceptance is a very important word that we often forget, and we'll do, as I say, these work in from that perspective. The perspective we'll also use is one where we need to think wider and bigger. We need to think universe. We need to think as us as part of the universe. The example that I love and I often give is the ocean. And I'll go into more detail at some later stage, but just think for a minute, when you look at the ocean, do you see microscopic little tiny drops of water, or do you see an ocean? When you're playing with the waves and a wave crashes, do you feel really sad that the wave's gone forever? Or do you really understand that that wave has transformed and those little drops of water have changed the form into the ocean? Okay, so yes, we're going to think about mental health. We're going to work to understand it better, and we're going to do it based on the mind and the heart, the soul. I'm going to direct these talks and chats and meetings towards young people. I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist, so it's going to be mainly directed towards young people, and this is going to be a forum where we're going to try and support young people to find their passions and their purposes, and in doing so they will be healthier people and happier people. So overall, this is a journey where we just change the way we understand life. The who, the why, the how, I've already said it. It's for all of us. We all need and are at a point where we want this change and this understanding, but it's going to be mainly focused to young people. The why, again, we need it at this moment in time, and the how, I'll go at the end of this little chat and tell you what's going to be the format, what my plan is. The when, today, could there be any better day to start such a beautiful project in which we think about mental health and promote mental health? A better day than the International Day for Mental Health, a day that started being celebrated 28 years ago in 1992, and now over 150 countries participate in it. A day where the whole world is thinking about how to increase awareness, promote education, decrease social stigma, reduce it, eradicate it. That's what we're going to be doing here in this forum. And bear in mind that the World Federation for Mental Health came up with the theme for this year, mental health for all of us, because particularly after this pandemic, and what's been evident is that all of us are in a mental health spectrum. All of us are vulnerable to mental health problems to different degrees of it, and we all need the support and the resources there. But we all need to be aware, to be more conscious, and to have an attitude that is more helpful. Okay, the World Health Organization, again, the goal, the aim for this year is to invest more, greater investment for greater services for everyone, everywhere. Beautiful theme, isn't it? And just to note that there was a week of awareness, mental health awareness in May, and during that week the theme was kindness, and that was in the middle of the pandemic as well, which I think is quite significant. Also, why today? Today is the 10th of the 10th, 2020. What a beautiful day. It's impossible to forget this date, the 10th of the 10th, 2020. And for those of you that are curious about numerology, as I am, I'm very bad with names, forget all the names. I'm always mixing my children's names, but with numbers, I'm really curious about it. And I looked into what's the meaning of this date 10-10-2020, and what I found is that when numbers are repeated, the significance of each individual number is magnified, is potentiated. And 0, bear in mind that 10-10-2020 has 4 zeros. 0 is the number for universe. Fantastic, isn't it? For unity, is a 0 is a circle that, you know, brings us all together and sort of signifies fluidity and love and purity and potential and unity, universe. Number 1 is about being positive, but it's about starting, beginnings. Is the number 1, is the creation, is where things start, and it's about attainment and achievement. And number 2 is duality, but it's also the in-between, the black and white and the grey, the two extremes, but also the balance, the harmony, the equality, what a word for when we talk about mental health, isn't it? And about justice, again, you know, fantastic word. But it's also about relationships, and it's about how we interact with each other in the world and the universe. So 10-10, new beginnings, finding your higher purpose in life, spiritual awakening. And I'm not religious, but I believe in this universe, and I believe in, for those of you that haven't heard much about quantum physics, I would invite you to just read a little bit, because I think it's very relevant to what we're talking about today. 2020, trust in the universe, kindness, compassion, helpful attitude, taking responsibility. Beautiful. It's a beautiful date, isn't it? Right, so just to finish, the how. The format I want to have is one where we are going to meet up maybe once a week. There'll be some times when I just talk about mental health problems, mental health disorders. I'll talk about bullying, I'll talk about education and how we should influence education to have a mental health subject into education, so young people learn and, you know, more about mental health and raise awareness. And then at the end of these little chats, I'll answer lots of questions that you will be asking me either live there and then, or you will have asked me from previous talks. Another times I'm going to, hopefully, if this continues and goes the way I want it to be, I'll invite influential people that are well known to all of us, to tell us about their own experiences with mental health, so that we normalize them, so we do understand that, you know, you can have mental health problems and live a happy, healthy life and be successful, and that way we normalize, we eradicate that stigma that there is about mental health. And we'll always keep it very interactive. We'll keep an open, honest channel of communication. You will be asking me questions. I will be asking you what you want more of and what you like better and so on. We'll always do these in a very respectful, loving and caring manner with a positive outlook. Yes, so I don't know if you noticed at the very beginning when I talked about happier, healthier heads and hearts, that they all start with a H. The H, when you put it together, it forms a ladder, doesn't it? A ladder that is infinite. It doesn't finish, does it? And it reaches as high as we want it to reach, and take us wherever we want to go. So let's do that together. Let's start this journey. Thank you for listening.